Well, that was a bit of a palaver. So first the tide pushed me back a lot quicker than I thought, and then 3 boats came out of the marina in quick succession, which I had to get out the way of. Then I got the mainsail up, and then putting the jib up, the furling line somehow got a knot in it and jammed, so I had to deal with that. Anyway, all good, and now we're off across the Blackwater to the north side, across to Mersea quarters, and then find our way up into Salcott Creek. It's 10:15, so we've got plenty of time. Lovely sunny day and a gentle breeze, so all going good. Yeah, so we're heading straight across the river to West Mersea, to the Mersea quarters, where we need to look out for the Nass beacon, and then the quarter spit East Cardinal beacon. Perfect conditions for a nice gentle sail. So wind right behind us now, heading across to West Mersea. Lovely tan sails in the sun. Here's the quarter spit, East Cardinal. So we bear round off to the northwest now. Just realised I turned off to starboard too soon and I've gone down the wrong channel, so now I'm coming out again and I'm going to go across to the next channel, which is over there. Yeah, this is quite confusing. I'm not sure where the channel is, but I'm just following these moored yachts. I'm not sure whether I should be on the other side of these yachts, and there's a withy coming up. Anyway, I'm in plenty of water, 6 meters, so that's not a problem. Yeah, lots of withies here, so I'll keep out the way of them. I think these mark oyster beds. Okay, I'm going to try and nip through here onto the windward side of the channel. So a quick about turn. Can I get some way on to get past this boat? Yes. Okay, phew. It was a bit close for comfort. Right. And then we'll tack again to go up the channel. So many boats here. I think I should have come along on this port side of the channel to start with. Would have made life easier. Right now I'm as close to the wind as I can be, and the channel bears round to the left, so at some point I'm going to have to tack again. I just want to keep out the way of all these boats. Fortunately there's much fewer boats here, so there's a bit more room to manoeuvre. Okay, that's good. I'm past all the moorings now, and it's just me and Salcott Creek and a load of withies. I'm pretty far up the creek now and still in 5.3 meters of water. I've just turned the corner and the wind is dead against me from up the creek now. There's quite a narrow channel between these two withies, two sets of withies, so anyway, I'll see if I can tack up, but it's going to be tight. Getting there. We are on the flood tide, so obviously that's helping us. Lovely. Yeah, we're now down to just over a metre of water. Anyway, I'm very conscious of not assuming just because my depth sounder shows I've got plenty of water now that I'll be fine in a few feet ahead. So I'm giving myself lots of leeway. I mean, plus I'm not really in trouble because it's another couple of hours till high water. So even if I did get stuck, I've got 2 hours of high water to get me off. So hopefully I've learnt my lesson from before. Stop. We just come to a halt. Yeah, I've hit the bottom. Okay, so I'm properly stuck on the mud now. Let's just hope the tide calculations are correct, because it's another hour and a half till high tide apparently. Let's hope it comes this way. It is beautiful surroundings. Very slowly, I think we're rotating on the mud. So maybe we will get off. Anyway, I'm trusting to the tide tables and we'll see what happens. We have got off. I just hoisted the jib. Shamrock just moved round and gently got off, so that's a relief. Good news is we're very gently sailing back down. So I think I'll go round the corner where it's a little bit deeper and then anchor there. I do love the Blackwater creeks. I love the idea of sailing up them as far as I can, far away from the busy main channels, until I'm surrounded by salt marsh and birds and the sound of the wind, and the water gets shallower and shallower. My boat, Shamrock, is shoal draft and needs only 1/2 metre of water when the centreboard is up.
so she's very well suited for this kind of creek crawling. And of course the soft East Coast mud is very forgiving. However, I still haven't really got used to going aground. Even when I know I'm on a rising tide, with plenty of time until high water, it's unnerving to feel shamrock suddenly becoming slow and sluggish, and then stopping completely, with the sails straining pointlessly in the wind. Boats are meant to float, and for most sailors it goes against every natural instinct to deliberately sail into just a few inches of water, knowing that you could very soon hit the bottom. I assume it takes a fair bit of experience to get completely comfortable with this. Anyhow, this little incident was very good, because I did go aground, it all happened very gently, and within 5 minutes I was afloat and sailing again. It couldn't really have gone any better.
Okay, we're anchored. A bit around the corner, just to get out of the wind a bit. Tide's still coming in. All the little bubbles are heading upstream past us. So the tide table was right. So that's the view back up the creek where I just came back down and back down the creek, kind of southeast. That's West Mersea. So a little bit of history for you. So this is called Salcott Creek, and the name is because of salt and salt production. I mean, there's still Malden, which is up the top of the head of the Blackwater. There's still the Malden Sea Salt Company, which is still producing salt, which you can get in the supermarket. But yeah, there was salt production all around here. One of my favourite books, this one, Ready About on the River Blackwater by Tony Smith. He talks about the Red Hills, which are little mounds of the waste, basically, of the salt production industry. So he said the Red Hills are mounds of ancient industrial waste from pottery vessels, ash and soil reddened by hot fires used to evaporate seawater. The hills were formed about 2,000 years ago all along the Essex coast, which we now know has been a major salt-making industry since Roman times. From this ancient salt-making industry, local names such as Salcott and Saltcott have come about. The demise in the salt-making industry came from competition with inland salt production that made the gathering of sea salt no longer profitable. The Malden Crystal Salt Company is now the only survivor of the Essex sea salt industry. Anyway, so interesting that that's where the name of this creek comes from. Okay, it's 5 to 1. Sun's gone in a bit. It's getting a little bit chilly. So I think I'll set off back to Bradwell. Okay, just getting some slightly deeper water. And then I'll put the mainsail up.
This is where it got a little bit messy. Usually when I want to raise the mainsail, I turn the engine on to keep Shamrock heading into the wind. Today, as it was a fairly gentle breeze, I thought I wouldn't bother with the engine, but would just use the jib instead. Unfortunately, 3 things happened. First, I didn't get properly head to wind, and this meant that even though I'd let the sheets out, the sails were catching some wind. Second, when I raised the mainsail, the upper part of it got caught on the topping lift and I couldn't disentangle it. I tried moving the gaff, but the wind was pressing it up against the rigging. You can see me here vainly tugging at the sail to try and get it back into its correct position. And third, the wind in the sails was slowly driving Shamrock forward, nearer and nearer the bank, and into much shallower water. On top of this, as I'd slackened off the jib to stop Shamrock moving forward, it was flogging the whole time, and making that horrible chaotic sound, which always means things aren't really under control. In the end, I abandoned this attempt, turned the boat away from the bank, pulled in the flogging jib, and moved back towards deeper water. This was with the mainsail only 3/4 raised, and whilst I was still holding the peak and throat halyards in my right hand, as I hadn't had time to fasten them round the cleats. All very unseamanlike.
So I got caught on the topping lift. I'll just go round again. A complete bodge job that was.
Anyhow, on the second attempt I managed to get the mainsail up without a hitch, which just goes to show that it was perfectly possible. But as we all know, with sailing it only takes a few small things to go wrong at the same time to muck up what seems like a very straightforward manoeuvre.
There. Okay, back down the channel. Okay, so we're heading back down Salcott Creek to where all the moorings are. More or less got the wind behind me now. Woohoo, bit of wind, zipping along at 5 knots now. 5.5 knots. Okay, into open water again. Back into the Blackwater. Oh, the wind's picking up now, this is cool. Just realised, forgot to loosen the topping lift. Here we go. Next tap. We're back. the porthole's open. Try again.